Hey everybody, good morning. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for you. I'm not quilting today. I'm doing a few errands, but I do have a few things, maybe a little story, maybe just a little tiny story, which has a very nice outcome. I'll address that in a minute. What I'm doing now with my big box, I have just wrapped my two quilts up, my embroidered critters and my spring snowflakes, and I am packaging them up to go to the post office to get to ship them off to the quilt show. Actually, the management for the quilt show is about an hour and a bit away from here, and I could drop them off. I just don't fancy driving there, so I'm just going to post them. I have two in the box. I'll put my pictures up if you're new here. This is the embroidered critters quilt that was accepted into the quilt show, and this is my spring snowflakes quilt that also was accepted into the quilt show. I've done everything that they have said. My embroidered critters is entry 2027, and my spring snowflakes is entry 2028. Now, when they tell you the instructions for packaging up, this is to inform that the jury has selected my embroidered critters for the Stepping Up Quilt competition at the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza. Embroidered critters will hang on display during the extravaganza from September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 2024 at the Oaks Convention Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. So if you're anywhere near Oaks Convention Center, the Expo Center, when they send you all of the blurb to ship off your quilt, what they also do is they've given you a form for an insurance appraisal information form for exhibited quilts. Quilts old and new should be appraised for insurance value. My goodness, I have quite a lot of quilts. But I think we have a rider on our homeowner's insurance policy. I believe so, for my art. Yes, I think so. Written insurance appraisals of exhibited quilts are available from so-and-so, who is a certified appraiser. If you are interested in having a hanging quilt appraised, send a check for $60 per quilt, payable to so-and-so. So you have to put all of the name, all of your information, the quilt design, the date made, the pattern, if it's an original, if it's a purchase pattern, the size, the fabrics, other materials, the cost, if there's any special thread or embellishments, the cost of replacing special threads or embellishments, excuse me, the batting, what kind of batting, the method of construction, hand, machine, piece, quilted applique, reverse applique, inking, painting, etc. Has this quilt been exhibited? Won awards? Been published? Interesting. Please be specific as to where, what publication, juried shows, etc. The quilt maker, are they famous? They have publications, books, awards. Attach a resume. Do you have records of sale of similar quilts? If yes, what was the price, sale, or range? If quote price is normally determined by square foot, how much is the square foot price? Oh my goodness, wow. Entry number of the quilt hanging in the show, and please allow up to 28 days to receive it by certified mail. Wow, how about that? I'm not doing that. So I don't know why I just read all of that. Excuse me. Again, my cough is not really going away. It's not necessarily going away. Oh, hello, Maxwell, babe.
Is this yours?
I'm sorry?
Is this yours?
I believe so, yeah. Okay. You want to come say hello? I'm filming.
Hi, I'll just say hi from the back.
Okay. So we're going to, excuse me, Maxwell, we're just going to pop around to the post office to mail off my quilts, okay? Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment next Wednesday to sort this out. It was just a general appointment, a checkup. But since I've had COVID, and I've had this cough for actually very many months, and it's not really going away. Not to be horrible, I'm not coughing up anything nasty at all, which is again is a little bit of a worry. I don't have allergies, but it's quite nasty, and I'm quite short of breath. Anyway, I thank you so very much for all of your concern. We're getting a little bit concerned too. I have, as you know, been prone to bronchitis, but that would be something nasty that I'm coughing up, and I'm not. Anyway, we will see, and I will let you know. It's just extremely debilitating, extremely tiring. But I'm resting. A couple more things. I have my quilt to take off, and we do have company. Our dear Roger. If you've met Roger before, he is our friend from England, who happens to be deaf. He is one of Ian's very oldest friends. They've known each other for over 60 years. He is visiting here with us just for the week. Like us, 2 weeks ago, we attended a convention of Jehovah's Witnesses down at the Wells Fargo Center. It was just so wonderful. 15,000 people there, third delegates from over 20 countries. It was just a special convention, which was just marvelous. Roger's attending just a regular convention here in America for the deaf. He also has one in Birmingham in England in a couple of weeks' time, but he thought he would combine coming here to visit us with the deaf convention and the deaf brothers and sisters in England. He will be going there. Actually, Roger has a few talks at that convention, so it's all exciting. Last thing I want to address is I was going through some old boxes down in our basement that survived our flood. Lo and behold, I found a pack of slides. Now, I don't understand. We never ever had a slide show equipment, ever. So I have no idea how these slides came about. From 1988, a pack of slides that were developed in May of 1988. Now, without a slide projector, you can hold the negative up to the window and see the image, which I did. And I was just so moved. I just couldn't believe it. I had never seen these pictures before that had never been developed into prints. You remember back then you had to take your roll of 24 film and drop it off at a photo mat and wait 2 weeks before you got it, and half of them were overexposed or not ruined. If you got 6 pictures out of it, you'd be doing good. This is for us old folks, so you guys remember that, how precious pictures were. Well, these were slides. Never saw them before. Held them up to the light, and oh my goodness, they were taken when our 5th son, Eliot, was born. And there's me pregnant with him in labor. Well, not that labor, but like just before labor, my baby bump. And then after me holding Eliot, and then all of our other 5 little boys. I had 4 children in 5 years. So all of the little boys were at the hospital. I do remember the that day. How can you forget, right? And Ian bringing all of the little boys to visit their baby brother. There's Luke, Justin, Jordan, and Dominic, who is only 18 months old. Eliot was born. And there's me, and then there's a picture of me afterwards, and I was just so bowled over what a memory that brought back. And I was just so very, very thrilled. So what I did is I did manage to hold him up to the light and try to take pictures with my phone, and it sort of worked, actually. So I do have a record of that day. I have in Eliot's baby book, which I made a baby book for all of our 10 children. I do have several pictures, and I must say, Luke, our firstborn, had 1 million. It's a joke, right? Maxwell has 10 million. And in between, with 10 kids back in the 80s and the 90s, they didn't have digital cameras, but I do have a baby book with quite a few pictures for all of the children, but this will be added to Eliot's. I texted him straight away with the pictures, and he was so thrilled. He was analyzing them, and I have pictures of him at about, there's one that he's about 3 months old in this lot, which I will show you. I have pictures of him at about 5 months to 8 months old, something like that, but they just got lost in the shuffle, and it was just such a wonderful, precious find. So I'll share them with you. That's all I have to say today. I'm going to be going to the doctor for my cough. I'm not sick. The fever is gone after having COVID, but it's lingering and it's not nice. I've done everything they wanted. They wanted for my quilt, they wanted a label a cloth label that included my name and address. That would be sewn to the lower back corner of the quilt, which I did by hand. And then also the 4-inch hanging sleeve, again, which I told you before, I had to actually hand sew the embroidered quilts, the embroidered critters quilt hanging sleeve because of the scalloped top. But I did it. I didn't photograph. I didn't film that. But trust me, I hand sewed. Around to the post office, but I do have one last thing. Our back steps from our small back porch, which we have a large front porch, but a small back porch in our old house here, they were getting a little bit spongy, and so Ian was like, oh, he repaired one of the risers because we were waiting for an accident to happen. Anyway, he said when Roger comes, who is a builder, my husband worked with Roger in London many years ago when we were first married as carpentry building. Well, when Roger comes, he goes, well, he can help us repair the steps. So sure enough, Roger's like, oh yes, please. So he strapped on the tool belt, and Ian and Maxwell and Ian repaired the steps from ripping them out, from them being old and horrible, from ripping them out to brand new pressure treated wood and everything cut around the banisters. Took about 3 hours. So I was so thrilled. So I got a new set of safe steps coming up to the back porch of our house. Again, I'll put some pictures up at the very end. And Roger will be coming with us. He wants to run down to Aldi's. And yeah, I just wanted to check in to say hello. Thank you for your love and your concern. Anybody who has this, it's nasty. Please take care of yourself. And I'm sending you really big hugs from the Trueloves. All right, love from all of us. Bye.